Bro,
what you got?
I feel like for the subject, I should use my serious narrator voice.
All right, let's hear it. Let's hear your fear porn voice.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Fear is an ancient and conserved response that served humans well enough before the advent of civilization. But it has become distorted in modern societies where primordial fears can readily transform into phobias. Quote from the National Library of Medicine.
You know what I think?
What's that?
I think this article sums it up perfectly.
I mean, that was a pretty damn well, whoever wrote that.
I think so. You know why?
Why?
Because one of our greatest assets as humans has been used, abused, and exploited by institutions of power for a long ass time.
Yeah, thousands of years.
Yeah, because it's easier to control people when they're afraid.
When they're in a fear state.
Exactly.
This is nothing new, but something we must always keep in mind when consuming any and all media.
I think so. Even this podcast.
Yes. Question everything.
Question everything.
Definitely question what I say.
I mean, we're not selling anything, so.
It's true. We'd like to.
But we don't have enough people to sell to yet.
Haven't quite made it there yet.
Yeah, so, tech, mainstream media, they make money off of our attention.
Yep.
Right? And more attention, more sponsors, ad revenue, and they're going to use any tool that they can in their box to get you going.
Turns out fear is a good tool.
Sure as hell
For
is.
attention, anyway.
Yeah.
We would be wise to understand that fear is one of their greatest assets since it preys on our brains at the deepest level.
I think so.
So in this episode, we're going to talk about what?
Fear porn.
Fear porn.
Let's dig in.
Let's dig in.
I'm Jonathan Noel.
I'm Brian Noel,
This is the Focus Cast.
where we help remove or reduce distractions
Increase focus.
so you and I and
we-
everyone else
and we all.
can live a life with intention. That's the goal.
Fuck yeah.
That's the purpose of this podcast.
All right. So what are we talking about? Fear porn.
What is fear porn?
Yeah. Mainstream media content that is deliberately and enticingly plays on people's fears about disasters, disease, and death.
The 3 Ds?
Yep. The triple D, son.
Triple D.
Disease, disasters.
Disaster, disease, and death.
Do you know what else you could throw in there? Downturns.
Ooh.
Like economic downturns.
Bro, the 4 Ds.
For the 4 Ds.
Are you stuck
You
in
getting quad D'd?
You getting quad D'd? Oh my gosh, that's great.
I'm getting, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Let's stop there because it's good so far. I love this quote. I love it so much. Says it all.
If it bleeds, it leads.
That's right. If it bleeds, it leads. Negative stimuli draw our attention. Rapid recognition of threat promotes survival. And selective pressures faced by early humanoids.
Hominids.
What the fuck is that?
It's kind of, you've heard of like Homo sapien.
Yeah.
Homo sapien.
Yeah.
This is like before that, the hominids. Homo hominid.
Hominid. What did I say? Humanoid?
You said humanoid.
Oh, because we talk about. Anyway, that's funny. Hominids did not favor those who ignore the signs of nearby predator. That makes sense. Hey, there's a bear over there.
Right. When the fear response was whatever, coming online,
Yeah.
it wasn't for being bombarded with fucking social media doom and gloom and all this stuff. It was,
So that way we would put us
was
into a fear state and then consume more.
right, it was simpler.
Yeah. It was like, watch out for the cliff.
Yeah.
Eat that mushroom and you'll die.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Fear that.
Protect.
That's a healthy fear. Don't eat that mushroom.
Yeah. Don't eat this.
Don't play with the cat.
Don't do
if that cat's a lion.
Don't. Those cubs are cute, but you might get killed still.
Yeah. Big Mama's coming. Yeah, I
So-
love it.
Yeah, this is nothing new.
No.
The news has exploited this adaptive feature of our brains for gain
Yeah.
forever. I mean, that's where if it bleeds, it leads comes from, and if it burns, it earns. The other variation.
God, that's kind of it's kind of scary.
If it burns, it earns.
Yeah.
Talking about Hawaii right now.
Gosh. Eef.
Oh,
Yeah, right in the line, right? So direct threat.
right. So I was reading an article. It was pretty cool. Talking about direct threat,
Yeah.
as in like if I point a gun at you, you're gonna run.
Yeah.
But indirect threats create more curiosity, kind of like a car crash.
Ooh.
You know, when you're driving by,
Yeah.
and you rubberneck. You're
Yeah.
like, oh, what's going on over there? It's kind of that morbid curiosity. It holds your attention. You're like, what's going on? It's kind of like the news plays on this.
Yeah.
You know, a direct threat, they don't just say, you're going to die right now.
Right.
You probably turn it off.
Yeah.
It's more subtle. It's more indirect.
Yeah.
And it's not by accident. You know, this isn't some formula that hasn't been figured out.
Yeah, the stock market may crash. We've been hearing that for years.
Yeah, the stock market, the world's been ending since the world's existed.
Yeah.
It's almost like humans are predisposed to find the disaster.
Yeah, I like that. So they've obviously perfected the science of attention, right?
Yeah.
So maintaining our attention without completely repelling us, and the study focused on the differentiators between repelling us with a direct threat versus playing on our curiosity with an indirect threat.
Right.
Like,
it's like when you're talking about the study with the Boston Marathon.
Yeah.
You know, someone watching the news all day about the bombs going off created more stress
than people who were actually there.
Than people who were actually there and saw the bombs go off.
Which is absolutely crazy to think about.
Yeah, that's fear porn.
That's fear porn.
So,
yeah. Okay. This is good.
The algorithm of fear.
Oh, now that sounds like a book title.
I know, right? I should write that book.
You should.
But I'm not going to.
Okay, someone else should.
Someone should. Right, so it's
The
not just
algorithm of
legacy
fear.
media anymore.
Yeah.
You know, it's all the...
It's everything.
It's everything.
Yeah.
And we've been through this with the... You know, if you get into any of the conspiracy shit...
Yeah.
Or any of the... It's called being black-pilled, if you've heard that term.
No, what does that mean?
Once you kind of start looking into the... How everything's a scam.
Yeah.
And then you become concerned about how everything is a scam.
Yeah.
And it consumes you.
Yeah.
It's still creating fear.
That's called black pilled?
Yeah.
Kind of like the
Red
Matrix
pill.
red pill and blue pill?
Yeah.
Which one was the out of the Matrix pill? Red?
Red.
Red, yeah.
So black pilled, I guess that's how you describe it.
So
that's just how I've heard it used in context.
Yeah,
Like
I like it. So the red pill is...
black pilled would be like Alex Jones.
Yeah.
You watch Alex Jones.
Yeah, it's like, does that dude like ice cream? Like, he's so consumed with all of the bad.
Yeah.
That you don't even know him outside of that.
It's when and that's what happens when you become consumed.
Yeah.
And then your quality of life goes down.
Right.
Because, sure, yeah, that's great. You know that it's a scam now and that everything's bullshit. It's nice that you have that knowledge, but if it consumes you, what's the point?
Right.
And if you're scared all the time, it's the same shit.
Yeah.
Same outcome.
Yeah. That's why they say the phrase ignorance is bliss.
It's better to just be a dumbass walking around with a empty head, not caring about anything.
Well, it's just there's the neutral ground, right? Or the question is, what is the neutral ground? Being completely ignorant means all of a sudden we're...
Yeah, ignorant is the lack of knowledge, so I can't unknow this stuff.
Yeah, that's the problem.
So...
And the algorithms know in fear porn, once you start unpacking some of it, man, it doesn't stop.
Yeah, basically, pretty much everything you see online from the search results and the Facebook feed is generated by algorithms. This invisible code prioritizes information that it thinks you'll like, which can turn your online experience into an echo chamber of identical opinions.
Yeah.
So as soon as you start going down the world's going to end, yada, 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 we're all going to die, it just turns into the feedback loop.
Yeah. It was funny. Pinterest, a Pinterest representative reached out to me and just said, hey, I'd like to just do some customer discovery with you about Pinterest. And I was like, that's cool. And I remember when they were tweaking their algorithms, because I would like, some cool looking bathroom.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, my whole feed was nothing but bathrooms. And my feedback was just just because I want to look at one bathroom doesn't mean I only want to look at bathrooms.
Of course.
I want to see some other stuff too.
Yep.
Throw in just a yard.
Something.
Something.
Like an aesthetic garden.
Yeah, it's like I picture this when you talk to someone who's completely obsessed with sports.
Yeah.
And I'm not a sports ball person. So I go to a party.
Yeah.
This actually happened to me once. I'm going to teach the audience who's listening to this how to get out of this conversation. You ready for this? If you're not a sports ball person. So I was at a house, and this dude was a major sports fan.
Yeah.
And I just walked up. I didn't really know him, and I was in his house, so I was just trying to be friendly.
Yeah.
And so I just cracked some kind of joke about the team that was playing. I don't remember what team.
Yeah.
They were maroon and gold.
Do you even remember the sport?
It was football.
Okay.
And I was just kind of like just cracking a joke about the team. And bro went off for 15 minutes about every player in their high school career.
Sounds awful.
And I was like, hey, man, you want a beer? And then I went and got a beer.
Yeah.
It's the best answer to everything.
Unless they're an alcoholic recovering.
Hey, you want a cup of coffee? You want me to take your keys and throw them out the front door? But anyway, I equate it to that, right? It's like so consumed. Like the second you just tip your toe into it, you just get fully sucked in. And it happens to me all the time. I've been talking about this in therapy a lot.
Yeah.
I'm really trying to stay away from fear porn.
Yeah. Yeah, it's, the conspiracy shit, it's good to have awareness and to try and look at things differently, but it's like everything else.
Yeah.
You can take anything too far.
Yeah. But it's like, what do we do with this? Like knowing that a global currency that's digital is probably the absolute most worst fucking thing that we could ever do as a society. And it will absolutely destroy us and control every single purchase and move we make.
Yeah.
What do I do with that information?
Deal with it when it gets there. What are you going to do? Are you going to change it?
I don't know. But if no one changes it and just lets it happen, that's the conundrum.
If enough people just quit buying shit, we can change the entire world right now.
Yeah.
If most of the middle class quit paying taxes,
it'd be done.
Would be done.
We changed the entire structure within a year.
So the people have the power.
But
so the point is to not worry about it, but I don't know. I don't know what the fucking solution is. I know that the authority is an illusion. That's what I know. It's all an illusion.
Whoa.
One guy doesn't pay taxes, he goes to jail. 100 million people don't pay taxes. What are they going to do? Nothing. It's an illusion.
Yeah.
Based off of fear.
It is a fear illusion.
Yeah.
Authority is an illusion.
It is 100% an illusion.
Bro, I'm loving this.
But it's true.
It's just like a police officer on a crowded street. If there's 5 police officers beating up one guy.
Yeah.
But then 100 people come.
Yeah.
And break that up.
And then the SWAT comes, and then 1,000 people come.
Yeah.
And then the military comes.
And then the whole nation comes.
Yeah.
We got a fucking revolution.
It's all an illusion.
It's all an illusion.
If enough people said, fuck this.
Yeah.
I'm not paying any more taxes.
I'm not wearing a mask.
I'm not buying this. I'm not doing this. Then it stops existing.
Yeah.
Right then.
Right there.
Yeah. Plain and simple.
Authority is an illusion.
It is an illusion.
What makes the president any more powerful than myself?
Fear.
Fear.
They have the NSA. They have all the agencies.
Yeah.
That's why they can kill one person or groups of people.
Yeah.
But you can't stop 200 million people.
And that's why it is so important to maintain power with the channels of communication to keep us in a constant state
of fear porn.
Of fear.
And divided.
Yeah.
That's why. That's why the whole system exists.
Yeah.
The whole thing exists to make sure that the peasants don't understand what power they actually have.
Yeah.
That's it.
Like if you watch the news, like in the 90s and 2000s, like all black people were gangsters. I remember this.
Yeah.
Because we grew up in a predominantly white area. Mm-hmm. Suburbs that were the sticks.
Yeah, Georgia.
And I remember watching the 90s riots.
Yep.
And seeing the truck driver getting pulled out of the truck and hit in the face with a brick during the LA riots.
Yep.
But what's crazy is like these projections and these personas, like I don't think I'm scanning, and I've probably met, I don't know, in my life, hundreds of black people.
Yeah, lots.
And I'm going to say this right now, not one of them
would pull someone out of
Well, hated me because I was white. Not one of them.
Yeah. They might vet you,
Oh, totally.
which is fine.
That's fine. Humans vet humans. Like
It doesn't matter what the skin
that's
color
part of
is.
being human.
I got to make sure someone's not a psychopath.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck what they look like.
Yeah.
You know, is this person here to contribute or harm me?
Yeah. But based on personas, like this whole thing of like fear the crime. It was funny. I saw a stat the other day that said like it's projected that like, you know, human crime is so bad and all that kind of stuff. But it's like 0.39% of deaths in America. The number one death is cardiovascular disease.
Yeah,
It's those fucking vegetable oils.
Yeah. Yeah.
If
that's what I'm saying. If
feared-
you should be scared, honestly, you should be more worried about canola oil than getting stabbed.
If we feared
honestly.
hydrogenized oil as much as we did.
RBDs. What is it? It's refined,
Yeah.
deodorized.
Yes.
Oh, refined, bleached, deodorized oils.
If we feared those as much as we feared fucking climate change, we would like immediately people would live longer.
I'm not scared of climate change.
Well, you're not living in the cycle of fear porn.
Right. So it's all an illusion. I mean, once you realize that, then you understand why all the systems exist.
Yeah.
Then you understand why are you a Ford guy or are you a Chevy guy? Everything is about
Picking a side.
separation.
Yeah.
Are you this race or this? Are you this or that?
Do you think?
Do you support this movement or do you not?
Yeah.
You know, even the racism stuff.
Yeah.
The people who win are the people in power.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. We
'Cause
don't win.
You can't stop. I keep saying 200 million. There's 400 million people in the U.S., but some of them are adolescents and some of them are too old to do anything.
Yeah.
So I just made up this number. But I'm saying you can't stop 200 million in the United States healthy people.
You can't even stop. That's the fear.
You
That's
can't.
the fear of those in power.
Yeah.
You can't stop like 100,000.
Yeah. You can't. You can't. They don't. That's what I'm saying. The authority is an illusion.
Yeah. I'm taking this.
So, anyway,
All right. So
that's why the fear porn exists.
yeah, that's why it exists. Maintain power.
Exactly. Because
Fear-
then you lose your power. You lose your autonomy.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's funny. You lose autonomy at the same time you lose like togetherness.
sovereignty.
Yeah. But like this, if we're separate, stronger together. So you lose your personal autonomy because you lose your freedom individually, but you also just lose that sense of community in which you can take action.
Yeah. So anyway,
Yeah.
um,
Doom scrolling. We've all heard of this.
yeah, same thing. Doom scrolling. This is from the National Library of Medicine, but they describe it as a vicious cycle in which users find themselves getting stuck in a pattern of seeking negative information, no matter how bad the news is.
Well, and let's put this in some different context, right? Because obviously we went to like the maybe conspiracy theory channels, but the other side of this is a woman looking at pictures of beautiful women, just sitting there going, "I'm not pretty enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not pretty enough.
I'll give you a real life
I'm not
example
pretty
too.
enough."
When you live in Chicago and everyone thinks that the entire city is Chirac, you know, that's what they call it, Chirac.
Really, what does that even mean?
Like Iraq, Chirac, Chicago.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never heard that before.
So
They called it Chirac?
yeah, Chirac is like what they call the south side of Chicago.
Really?
But if you tell anyone outside of the city who lives in a rural area, you lived in Chicago, like when I lived there for 4 years, they're like, oh my gosh, how dangerous is it? They think the entire city is a fucking shootout.
Yeah.
Like there's like 8 million or 5 million people between the whole Chicagoland suburb area. Do you think the entire thing is just a shootout? There's just 5 million people dodging bullets all day?
Yeah.
No, it's fucking stupid.
It's
You know?
it's funny you brought that up because if you watch, same thing about New York City.
Yeah.
Right? You see these videos of like homeless people, all this kind of stuff. So I've been in New York several times now and spent days, and I love to walk.
Yeah.
And New York City is a city I love to walk in.
It's a great city to walk in.
I walked
It is.
60 blocks one day.
Yeah.
I saw 2 homeless people. 60 fucking blocks.
Yeah.
From the lower whatever.
Lower East or whatever.
Yeah,
Lower
all the way-
Manhattan up to.
All the way up to Central Park.
Yeah.
Now I'm sure there's pockets
Yeah, for
where
sure.
more homeless people
Yeah, there's going to be.
live, but two 60 blocks.
Yeah, and
hours.
if you watch the news, you would think that the city's
The
in,
whole city's
you would
homeless
think
people.
it's Gotham City without Batman, and it's just criminals took over, and it's just like that's how it always is.
That's how it always is.
You know,
I went to L.A. and definitely I did walk by Tent City,
some homeless camps. Yeah,
and if I was like a young, alone, attractive female, I might be
a little
more
sketched out.
intimidated than I was, but I was kind of in a rough spot because I actually walked past the worst tent city. Was it called Death something? I don't know. Anyway, and that was during the day. It's just certain places you don't walk at night. And I walked for a lot of blocks. I walked to a music store.
Yeah.
I walked until I found a restaurant that I wanted to eat at, and doesn't mean you can't die, but you can die in the suburbs from some person who's just tired of driving to the city every day and then decides to pull the gun out and shoot you because you cut him off at a red light.
Yeah, I've seen those videos too.
Yeah.
So, and if you only watch videos of people dying in road rage, then you're gonna feel like you're gonna
Die in a road rage incident every day.
even though your chances are 0.00000 fucking 0.01%.
Yeah.
Unless you're the person who instigates it every time.
Yeah, that's true.
Then your chances go up.
If you got some nuts on your Ram,
You might be instigating.
You might
some,
be instigating.
some road rage. Get that nutsack on the back of your rim.
yeah. But I mean, like,
But I mean, that's the doom. The doom scrolling is.
yeah,
I mean, we've been there.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
I did my doom scrolling back in like when I was 20, 21 years old, and I found Alex Jones.
Nice.
And he's talking about the government, and you're like, oh my gosh.
He's been doing this for a while.
And even though he was right about a lot of things, what I realize now is the world is always ending. But that's another episode.
Yeah.
It's always ending, but it's still here.
Yeah.
So I can't waste my energy being worried about some impending doom. I'd rather just be living my
moment.
life, and then when it happens, I'll deal with it.
Yeah.
And if I get shot, whatever. Who
What are you
cares?
gonna do?
Who gives a fuck?
I remember, I don't even know where I found the book. I think I found it at Goodwill or something, or it was one of Mom and Dad's, or I got it from our grandparents' house. I don't even know how I got this book. But the book was about a journalist who went into some of the war-torn areas of, I think this was World War I. It was an old book.
Yeah.
Maybe World War II, but I think it was World War I. And the journalist was just absolutely shocked at how these cities were like, they would have bombings every day,
Mm-hmm.
but they just lived their lives. And the journalist was just to detail, like, and I didn't read a lot growing up, and I remember reading this just like, this was like a very impactful book for me. And the journalist was just describing how like a building would get bombed and the people would just go in, pull out the people who died, bury them, and then gather their things and go to a family member's house. And then they'd go to the coffee shop and they would just literally, like, their sensitivity to that environment, just that became the norm.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Humans are very resilient.
It's pretty wild.
You can cope and adapt to a lot of situations.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think when people are worried about the world ending, they should be worried about being consumed and captured by so much fear. Basically, your world has ended because you've lost all of your autonomy and you've lost your sovereignty,
Wow.
So in a way,
in fear of the world ending, our world has already ended.
if you let it consume you, yes.
Wow.
You're not even living anymore. You're just a husk of a shell of a human.
You're just an anxiety being.
There's no way to live.
No way.
I don't think humans are not supposed to live like that. And I don't think they deserve it.
I don't either.
That's fucking cruel.
That's why we're talking about it.
Yeah.
Because we don't want people to live like that.
Fuck no.
I mean, I know I was just talking about this in therapy the other day, and I'm really trying to like I left Facebook because of the algorithms and like doom and gloom and doom scrolling and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then Instagram was like family photos and just pretty chill. And now Instagram is the same thing Facebook was 5 years ago, and it's really weird. We were talking about this. I was talking about this with my therapist. Like, you see like a happy family, and then you see like a cool mountain bike if you're me, because that's going to come up a lot.
Yep.
And then you see a conspiracy.
Yeah.
And then you see like a video of someone getting shot in the face in the street.
Yeah.
And then you
So-
see like a chick
Yeah, like working out.
Yeah, working out. And it's like, how am I supposed to, how does my brain process that
Yeah,
over and over and over again?
yeah,
Like, these are extreme emotions.
yeah.
Like, am I going to be able to provide for my family if the world ends from this one post? Do I want a new mountain bike?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's
Can I
like,
jump that high?
I
You
mean,
know?
I think we kind of disassociate it because of it's a screen,
Yeah.
you know, on a phone.
Yeah.
But if I sat you in a chair and then put like a happy family in front of you, you're like, oh, that's sweet. And then I had someone stab someone in front of you and then shoot someone. And then I put like a cool mountain bike in front of you. Like all these emotions just going back and forth, just turning through you like this over and over and over. It's going to fuck you up.
It's going to fuck you up.
It's too much stimulation.
It's too much.
The nervous system, the human body is amazing.
Yeah.
I'm not shitting on the body. I think it's incredible.
Yeah. It's not designed for that.
But it's not designed to just be blasted
Yeah.
like that with so much different types of content.
Yeah.
Some of it charging, some of it up and down, and just like, oh, happy, and then sad, and guy getting stabbed. And then, like you said, oh, I'm watching a guy land a cool trick skateboarding. And I'm like, oh, look at this cool Forerunner. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, that guy died in a motorcycle crash. And I'm like,
Market's going to turn.
yeah, oh yeah, market's
Gonna
going to
lose all of our
crash.
money.
And it's like, yeah,
Nonstop. Like, hundreds of years ago, like when you had your piece of property, you know, and like you worked, you know, like you did shit. You tended to your garden.
yeah.
You had to make your food. You know, you had to milk the cows.
You had
if
a-
you
you had
lived
a
in a rural
community.
area.
Back then, the bad
walked
things that
into
would
town.
the bad things that would happen would be like what? Family members pass away.
Someone got sick?
Someone gets hurt.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like what?
Once a month.
I don't know.
Like times were hard, but like these spikes of like fear, it's just totally different.
It's just a lot of stimulation, plain
Yeah.
and simple.
Yeah,
a
and
lot
now
of
we consume
stimulation.
it. Like the fear of don't go over there, there's a cliff. Just imagine like every time you step, you might fall off the cliff. You might fall off the cliff.
Yeah.
For like the next 6 years of your life.
That's
Shit, I'd jump off the cliff.
That's fear porn. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think this was the same article, but previous research has revealed a relationship between social media use and increased feelings of depression and anxiety. So, social media is whatever you want it to be.
Yeah.
Do you use it to network, make business connections? You join your knitting group or whatever the fuck it is, you know, your group that loves buttons.
Yeah.
Just thinking random stuff, but that's what the internet's for.
Right.
You can find groups of people who have similar interests.
Well, I think even
Or-
the evolution of fear, right? So when it was mainstream media, we had, you know, our news networks,
Yeah.
and the news would be telling a story. So there was one story that you would fear, right?
Yeah.
What I'm and honestly, I was since I'm like super in the heat of this, because for me, I have 2 kids, I'm married, and so if I go into a fear state, my fear is, will I be able to provide for my family if some type of crisis happens?
Yeah.
So if I'm going to go into a fear state, that's the fear state I'm going to go into, right? That's where I'm going to have anxiety.
Right.
So, you know, if there's wildfires
Right.
on the West Coast and the news is just talking about it all the time because they want the attention, well, that's one thing. But when I'm scrolling and it's like there's wildfires all over North America
UFOs.
and there's UFOs.
The water's being poisoned from the trains.
And yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And the market's going to turn.
And the market's
And the
crash.
elite are aliens that are going to end up eating us. Like,
Yeah, whatever it is.
it's like you get to the point to where it's like
Your brain is mush.
there's absolutely nothing I can do because it's all fucked.
That's the whole point.
And that's a low state.
That's a very low state.
Yeah. Why try? Why even focus so hard on this business? The world's not going to be here next year anyway.
And that's how you crush the human spirit and make
Yeah.
sure that
I might as
you
well
can control people.
I might as well just buy some peanut M&Ms and eat a fucking hot dog and watch Netflix until the shit's gone.
And then guess what? You're going to be 80 years old and then the world didn't end.
Yeah. thinking back to myself, man,
That was dumb as fuck.
I wish I had rode my bike more.
And that's why you just have to live your life.
Yeah.
And if the world does end, I'll take it. Whatever.
Yeah.
So what's the solution here, bro? Everything's bullshit, right?
Yeah.
Consume less.
Yeah. Consume less. Consume less fear.
Think about the fact that businesses are making money off of your attention. That should be something you think about all the time.
Yeah.
How is this being used to make money or sell?
Yeah.
What is the product? And if you're the product, it's your attention,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So just think about it.
Yeah. Just be aware.
Just be aware.
Yeah.
You know, if you're in an echo chamber, just
Break the cycle.
break the cycle. Like, oh, you know what? The only things I see online are about political this stuff.
Yeah.
You know, you've entered the echo chamber.
Yeah.
Now you hate this group of people, and how can they be so stupid? And how could they not agree with me? Echo chamber,
Echo chamber.
misery.
Yeah.
So
Throw some kittens in there.
throw some kittens in there.
Break up the chamber.
It's designed
Fuck
to
up the
keep,
algorithms.
it's designed to keep you there
Yeah.
so they can make money off of you.
I know.
Isn't that funny? Your misery is their money.
What is so crazy, though, I mean, think about how strong this is. All you have to do is put your phone down.
That's the hardest part.
But yet,
But yet, you just keep on going back, you dirty junkie. And I'm guilty of this too. You know, I sit down. It usually starts with I'll check Facebook Marketplace. I'm like,
that's your hook.
I'm like, well, I mean, I just got to see which mountain bikes are on sale. For
Yeah,
sale.
I mean, you never know. Today could be the day.
I got to check out the bases.
Yeah, oh, of course.
There could be an American base for a great price. American Fender Jazz.
$600, $700 American Fender
I'm
Jazz.
still waiting.
82 edition.
I'm still waiting.
Still waiting, baby.
But it'll show up. But then I open up Instagram.
Yeah.
I do a little bit of that. And then I'm just like, ugh,
Yeah.
gotta put the phone down.
It's funny. It's like, when do you feel great and when do you feel bad? You know?
Yeah.
If you're out sitting around a fire with some friends, encouraging each other, laughing, you know, how do you feel after that? And then being by yourself in your bedroom for 3 hours scrolling, how do you feel after that?
Awful.
And what do you want more of?
And I unfollowed a lot of people during COVID.
Yeah.
You know, I just don't need that negativity. Actually, I followed way more people during the 2016 elections.
Election?
Or 2020.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't need all these people talking about this dumb shit. So I unfollowed tons of people.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care who you hate. I really don't.
Yeah.
Hate them on your own time.
What did we say the other day? We'll probably do an episode on this of how we've delegated our hate.
Let someone else tell us who to hate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
I'm so low functioning as a human being that I can't even make a decision on who I want to hate. I just hate whoever I'm told to hate.
Yep.
That's crazy.
That's wild.
That's someone in the cycle of fear porn, man.
That's the echo chamber too.
Yeah.
But a lot of people do what they're told.
Yeah.
So I try and I want to question everything.
Yeah. Everything.
Everything. You
I'm
know?
down with that.
Everything. So
What was our solution?
consume less, understand the mechanisms,
And be introspective about
be introspective,
when you're in the echo.
and know that the system does not exist for you to become fulfilled. It exists to make money off of you at any cost.
That's the statement.
Yeah.
The system does not exist to help you become fulfilled.
Right.
It exists to turn you into a consumer.
But it can fulfill you if you use it properly.
Yeah.
I'm not shitting on social media. I think it's great.
Yeah, it's cool.
You follow like-minded people.
Yeah.
If it's positive,
Yeah.
you're following artists and you see cool artwork and people you see their gardens.
Yeah.
The experience can be whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
It can be all the way to you think the government's going to pull you out of your house tomorrow
Yeah.
and put you in a camp, all the way up to, I love my friends who are growing squash.
Yeah.
And I love seeing mountain bikers and, people who do cool stuff
Yeah.
and artists. So,
I think just as much as we intentionally filter our friends,
filter your Instagram.
we should filter our accounts.
I go through. once something's irritating enough or not, if it's too negative,
Yeah.
I'm just like, fuck this.
And you can say, I want to see less stuff like this. Sweet.
All right.
Let's roll.